things. So, first and foremost, this day has been rough in some sense. I have COVID, so it's been difficult to concentrate in a lot of ways. However, not slacking off, still got a lot done today in terms of this project. So, one thing I would say is I underestimated the amount of time it would take to get strong at creative. So the idea was to week one, I had, as you can see, day 3 here, testing of ads, so deep dive on how to push out loads of creative. I'm nowhere near that. So the reason being is creative is so vitally important on TikTok. I have some stats and things that I'll share that I've been consuming, but it's very, very important to get this portion of the service offering correct. And it's just a waste of time if I was to throw up shitty ads to start testing things. And I also started a course, which I'll get into, from Maxwell Finn, which has been extraordinary, but there's about 3 hours worth of content related to just creative tips and best practices and things. So it'll be a couple days before I think I can get into testing ads. What I did do, see the strike throughs here, day 3 and 4, day 5 and 6 to consume. I've moved those up, and I'll share another sheet here. This is how I'm thinking about it now. So today was a day of consumption, tomorrow as well, and then the next day. And so I think with those 3 things together, or those 3 days of consuming together, then I'll be ready to start testing ads come day 6 and 7. And that's a better way to approach this. And like anything, I think you have to be flexible with how you proceed forward. If the data and the information you start consuming teaches you or tells you you should go another route, you got to listen to that. I'm not going to be stuck my way and say, hey, I said I was going to test creative day 3 and then I just do it because that's what was there. And so that's where things are headed. I still like the rest of this in terms of schedule. For just some of the tidbits I got today, I jotted down a few notes I think that were really interesting. So we can go, I think this can be seen pretty well, but TikTok themselves says that 80% of ad success is based on the creative. I think that's kind of a no-brainer, but it hit home. I think it's something you may not think about when most people think, well, maybe it's the bid or the targeting or the interest or whatever it might be in reality on TikTok, because point number 2, the creative has really no feed. You're just showing up and taking up the entire real estate on the phone. That is super, super valuable and important to take note of, that your creative is what is going to make or break success when it comes to advertising on TikTok. So these might be pretty basic points if some of you guys are already into this. However, for me, it's all new. So I mean, I realized this from using the app, but actually getting in there and thinking about it from experts who are pointing this stuff out, it's starting to hit home a little bit closer. The other thing I think that Max called out, which is super important, because I did mention this in the last videos. I said, maybe we could hack, TikTok is coming out with search, right? They're allowing more descriptions and longer descriptions and keywords within those descriptions, 2,000 characters or something. Like, what about manipulating that somehow in order to show up higher in the organic? And you could probably do that, and I bet you there's ways and people are already working on it. But I think he brought up a good point, which is that Algo and the AI are getting really good at the technical side of things. And this is for bidding as well as for organic, but they are building out more advanced AI that can do a lot of this bidding, can do a lot of the targeting, the pacing, etc. So really where you're going to have an X factor or a differentiation is through creative. And so that needs to be the angle going forward. And I really agree with that. That was a strong point that I felt like it was important to call out. Creative is the thing that's hard to replicate. In small hacks to get ahead for, 6 months or a year could be worth it, depending upon what your goals are. But for me, this is about a long-term sustainable business, not necessarily about a, 3 to 6 month or, a little bit more than that quick run to the bank. So this is where things stand today. It's been a long day, like I said. Quick overview of what's to come. Tomorrow we'll continue to be consuming, so I'll bring some of those tips tomorrow. Thanks for giving this a listen. Pretty short today. Have a nice day.